Everybody completed attributes tasks? Bindu, did you complete all the tasks? Bindu Kadamur. Chandu Reddy, did you complete all the tasks? Attributes tasks? An interview question. This interview question is for experienced people. Can you please answer this question? The value stored in a numerical variable is given by 1,10,700. Which format is used to display the values as follows in the report? 110, 700.00. If you want to get this format, if you want to display this, what is the format you should apply?
Format
9.2.
Comma 10.2.
Comma 10.2.
10.2.
So this is the options that you get.
Comma 10.2.
Ram Gupta.
Yes, sir.
We're getting some background noise from outside.
Okay.
This is how we'll get the questions in the interview. So far, that's the one question that you can answer. Okay. Since in the last class we have completed the attributes topic, in today's class we are going to start discussing about a very important concept of basis. We are going to discuss about SAS statements. What are the statements that we have? Say, for example, before writing any statement, I will ask you one question. You know about the SAS self-dot class, right? How many variables we have in the SAS self-dot class?
9.
5 variables.
5
variables
Five
and 19
observations. 19 observations. Very good.
19
now I want to
observations.
create a data set called class 1 from SAS self-dot class. Now tell me, if I execute this program, how many variables and how many observations I'm going to have in the class 1? I will have 5 variables and 19 observations.
19
Now
observations.
see, if I select the program, execute the program, yes, we have a class 1. In the class 1, we have 5 variables and 19 observations, right? Now, I do not want to have all the 5 variables in the class 1. I want to have only name, sex, and age. According to your current knowledge, how we will get only name, sex, and age in the class 1?
Keep option.
Very good. How we going to write data? Ajay Reddy. Data set name, open the parenthesis, keep is equal to, now I want to have a name variable, space, sex variable, age variable, and close the parenthesis. Now, if I execute this program, yes, you will have a class 1 data set. In the class 1 data set, you will have only name, sex, and age. This is, so if you want to have a few variables, if you want to have a specific variables in the data set, in the data statement, after the data set name, within the parenthesis, we can write keep is equal to whatever the variables you want to, you can mention that one. You can specify that one. But in today's class, I'm going to write the same requirement in a different way. Now I'm writing data. I want to have a class 2 data set. Now I'm writing the data class 2. Now I'm writing the set statement. I want to create this one from the SAS help.class. Now I'm writing the run statement. I want to have only name, sex, and age in the class 2. Now in today's class, I am going to write a keep statement. How to write the keep statement? Now keep, what are the variables I want to keep? I want to keep the name variable. I want to keep the sex variable, and I want to keep the age variable. Now select the program, execute the program. Now we are going to have a class 2. In the class 2 also, we will have name variable, sex variable, and age variable. Now, but this is called as a keep option in the data statement, and this is called as a keep statement. And keep option and keep statement both does the same thing. Why we read the keep statement? Keep statement is useful to specify the variables that we want to keep in the final data set. In the final data set, if you want to keep few variables, what is the statement we are going to read? We are going to read the keep statement. So now, so far, you know how to write the keep option. Now you know how to write the keep statement also. So if you want to have few variables in the data set, what is the option? What is the statement you can write now? We can write the keep statement. But keep statement and keep option both does the same thing. So both are useful to keep the variables in the data set. Then what is the difference between keep option and the keep statement? Now we'll see the differences between these two. Say, for example, I want to create two data sets, DS1, DS2, or I want to create three data sets. Set, I'm creating all the three data sets from the same SAS.class. Okay. Now, while I'm creating three data sets, in all the three data sets, I want to have name and weight. If you want to have a name and weight, how will you write the program? You know that data set name, keep is equal to name, space, weight.
Name, weight.
Say, for example, if I execute this program, what are the variables that you will have in the DS1?
Name, weight.
Name,
Name.
and weight.
What about the DS2 and DS3?
All
Oh,
five.
name is 5 variables.
You will get all the 5 variables. But in the DS2 also, I want to have name and weight. Then what we should do? Now again, we should write keep is equal to name space
Name,
weight.
weight.
In the DS3 also, I want to have a name and weight. Again, what we should do? Open the parenthesis. You should write keep is equal to, yes, you want to have a name and weight. Now close the parenthesis. Now, if I execute this program, now I'm going to have a DS1, DS2, and DS3. In all the three data sets, we are going to have the same name and weight. But if you apply the option, you should write separately for each data set. But now I want to create a DS4, DS5, and a DS6. In all the three data sets, I want to have, same variables. I'm writing SAS help.class. In all the three data sets, I want to have name and weight. So name and height. Now, instead of writing any option like this one, now I'm writing a statement. Keep name space height semicolon. What are the variables that we are going to have in DS4, DS5, and DS6? In all the three data sets, we are going to have the same two variables. So that means when we have the same requirement, And when you're creating multiple data sets, okay, when you're creating a multiple data sets, if you have the same requirement in all the data sets, which one is better, writing in a keep state option or writing in a keep statement?
Keep
Keep
statement.
statement is better. Because the same statement works in the same way for all the data sets that are created under one data set. Now see, if I execute this program in the DS4, DS5 and DS6, we are going to have the same variables. Understand this one? But if you want to write a keep option, how we should write? We should write for each data set. Now, how we can differentiate this one? Keep statement works in the same way for all the data sets that are created under one data step. So the statement is going to work in the same way for all the data sets that are created under one data step. But keep option works for individual data sets. It works for individual data sets. So if you want to apply the option after each and every data set name within the parenthesis, you should write it. But now I want to create demo1 space demo2. I'm creating both the data sets from the SAS_self.class. Okay. While I'm creating both the data sets from the same data set, but in the demo1, I want to have name and height. In the demo2, I want to have a name and weight. Can I write the keep statement?
No, sir.
If you write the keep statement like this one, keep statement works in the same way for all the data sets, but I have a different requirement. If you have a different requirement, what we should do, you cannot write the keep statement, because if you write the keep statement, it works in the same way for all the data sets. In that scenario, obviously, you have to go with the keep option. Data set name, keep is equal to what you want to have. I want to have a name and height, close the parenthesis, go to demo2. Again, within the parenthesis, what we should do, keep is equal to, you should write name space weight. So when you're creating multiple data sets, if you have a different requirement in each data set, obviously you have to go with
Keep option.
keep option. Very good. You have to go with the keep option. But when you're creating multiple data sets, if you have the same requirement, it is better to go with the keep statement.
Keep statement.
Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
now the second difference between keep statement and keep option is, say for example, I want to print the data. If you want to print the data set, we write a program called proc print. I am writing proc print data is equal to data set name SAS_self.class. While I'm printing, I want to print only name, sex, and age. I want to print only 3 variables. So if you want to print 3 variables, I'm trying to write a keep statement, keep name, sex, age, semicolon. Can you see? While I'm writing the keep statement in the proc print procedure, can you see it is red in color? What you can understand from this one, that means you cannot write a keep statement in a proc step. But still I'm trying to execute this program. Now can you see I'm asking please print name, sex, and age, but can you see what it is printing? It is printing all the variables of the data set. Now I want to see what exactly happened. Now I'm going to the log window. Can you see what is the error that I have? What is the issue that I have? The drop and the keep statements are not supported in the procedure steps. So that means you cannot write a keep statement in the proc step. Understand this one? Now anyway, I want to print only name, sex, and age. So I'm writing proc print data is equal to, yes, I want to print a SAS_self.class, but I want to print only name, sex, and age. So what I'm going to do, data set name. Now within the parenthesis, now I'm writing keep is equal to name, sex, age. Now I'm selecting the program, executing the program. Can you see what variable that we have print? We have print for name, sex, and age. So that means what you can understand from this one? We cannot write a keep statement in the proc step, but we can write a keep option
Keep
in the proc.
option.
So that means keep statement works only in data step, but keep option works both in data step and
Both in data and proxy.
understand. Keep statement works only in data step, but keep option works both in data step and proc step. Understand this one? Now, which one is better? So, for example, remember we have discussed the backend process. In the backend, I told you whenever you execute the program, there is going to be compilation phase and execution phase. In the compilation phase, we are going to have three important things. So one is input buffer, descriptor area, and what is the third one?
PDB.
Very good. So this is what we have discussed about the backend process. If you remember, this is the one we discussed. Now, this is what we have discussed. Remember, this is called input buffer. This is called input buffer. And this is called as a descriptor area, a descriptor portion. And what is this? This is called PDB, program data vector. Okay. Say, for example, in the program, if you write keep statement like this one, if you write the keep statement, where this keep statement works in the program? Keep statement works here before PDB. So the keep statement will work here. Okay, but if you write a keep option like this one, where the option works? The option works after PDB here. So for example, if I say keep SID, so that the keep option is going to work here. If I say keep sales, the keep option works here. So if you read the statement, where the statement works? The statement works before PDB here. If you read the option, where the option works? The option works after PDB. Now, which one is better? If you read the statement works before PDB. That means when the data is entering from the input buffer into PDB, there itself the data will be get filtered. There itself the data will be get filtered. But if you read a keep option, where the option works? The option works after PDB. So by the time all the data entered from input buffer into PDB, all the work has been done. So dropping a variable after the PDB, it is not so, good. Not so good in the sense PDB already SAS has done all the work. So when all the work has been done, what is the point in dropping the variables here after the PDB? Of course, you will not get that. If you read the keep, you will get only those variables. But by the time the SAS has been done all the work. Understand? Now, which one is more efficient? If you read the keep statement, since the data is going to get filtered itself here, SAS is going to do less work. అంటే తక్కువ వర్క్ చేసిన అంటే డేటా ఎక్కడ ఫిల్టర్ అయిపోతుందండి ఇన్పుట్ బఫర్ దగ్గర నుంచి పీడీబీకి వచ్చేటప్పుడే డేటా ఫిల్టర్ అయిపోతుంది దేర్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ద డేటా విల్ బి గెట్ ఫిల్టర్డ్ సో దట్ SAS is going to do less work. But if you read the option where the option is working after the PDB. By the time all the data entered from input buffer into PDB, now we are filtering the data when the data is entering from the PDB into data set. So SAS has done all the work. Okay, that's why this is not so efficient. Not only keep option, keep statement. All the statement works before PDB. All the options keep, drop, rename, where all the options works after PDB. Now, in general, which one is better? Always statements are better because statements works before PDV. Because what is the point if it works before PDV, how it is going to be good? Because if it works before PDV, SAS is going to do less work. All the data filtered before the entering into PDV, so SAS is going to do less work. But if you write option, by that time all the data entered into PDV, so all the work has been done. So writing a drop option not a good idea, and it doesn't help you much when it comes with the SAS performance. Now that is the difference between keep option and keep statement. Understand this one? Now tell me one more time, what is the difference between keep statement and keep option? And of course, both are going to do the same work. Why we write first of all keep statement? To specify whichever variables you want to have in the data set. So what are the differences between keep statement and keep option? Keep statement works in the same way for all the data sets that are created under one data step. So if I'm creating here 3 data sets, all the data sets, the keep statement works in the same way for all the 3 data sets. But keep option works for individual data sets. Sorry, keep option works for individual data sets. And keep statement you can write anywhere in the program. You can write it anywhere in the program. But where we should keep option? After the data set name. After the data set name within the parenthesis. Now, what is the third difference? Keep statement works only in data step. But keep option works both in data step and proc step. Understand this one? And third one is keep statement is more efficient because it works before PDV, and keep option not so efficient because it works ఎక్కడ వర్క్ చేస్తుందండి after PDV.
After PDV.
So these are the differences that we have between keep statement and keep option. Everybody clear with this one? Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, I want to create a data set called class 1 again. And I want to create this data set from SAS self.class. While I'm creating, I do not want to have height variable in the new data set called class 1. If you do not want to have any variable, according to your current knowledge, what you will do, you will write a data set name. Now you will write a drop is equal to the variable. This is what you know. Now, when we're creating a class 1, weight variable will be get dropped so that you will get the remaining variable. Yes?
Sir, I have a doubt in this keep statement.
Okay.
We cannot use the keep statement in proc step, no, sir?
Yes.
But then you're saying keep statement is more effective than the keep option.
More efficient. Why it is more efficient? Because it works before. When it comes with the data step, keep statement is more efficient. If it works in proc step, doesn't mean that it is efficient. Okay? Proc step లో వర్క్ చేసినంత మాత్రం ఎఫిషియెంట్ అయిపోదు. ప్రాక్ స్టెప్ లో వర్క్ చేయకపోతే కనుక నాట్ ఎఫిషియెంట్ అవుదాం. Efficient in the sense performance wise, statement is better than option. Okay?
సార్ కీప్ స్టేట్మెంట్ లో మల్టిపుల్ డేటా సెట్స్ ని ప్రాక్ స్టేట్మెంట్ వాడొచ్చు.
Come again.
ప్రాక్
If you
స్టేట్మెంట్
want-
లో మల్టిపుల్ డేటా
you want-
సెట్స్ ఒకేసారి
no.
వాడొచ్చు.
The question is, say for example, if you want to print multiple assets, you want to print multiple data sets, right? So for example, you are saying proc print data is equal to, say for example, SAS self dot class, or you want to print SAS self dot cars also, right? This is our question. We cannot do that one. We can print only one data set. Depends upon the purpose. In some procedures, we can write multiple data sets, but you cannot list out like this one. We can print only one data set at a time. Now, this is my program. I'm executing this program. Yes, we have a class one. Now, how many variables I'm going to have in the class one?
4.
4 variables, because I'm dropping the weight variable, so you'll get the remaining variables. Now, I want to create a class two. I do not want to have weight anyway. I do not want to have a weight variable. So set I'm writing SAS self.class. Now in today's class, I'm not going to write an option. I'm going to write in a statement. How to write the statement? Statement is very simple. Drop the variable name. Drop. What is the variable that you want to drop? I want to drop the weight variable. Now the drop variable name. And this is called a drop statement. And this is called drop option. Now, I'm setting the program in the class 2 also, the weight will be get dropped. You will get the remaining 4 variables. Again, I want to create 2 data sets. Data DS1, DS2, set SAS self data. In both the sets, I do not want to have height and weight. So I have the same requirement in both the data sets. Which one is better now? Drop statement. If I the drop statement, drop height, space weight, both height and weight will be get dropped in both the DS1 and DS2 data sets. Understand? But if you want to write the drop option, how we should write the drop option? Data, I want to create a DS3 and DS4. Then I'm writing set SAS help dot class. How we should write the option? If you want to write an option, data set name. Now within the parenthesis, what we should write? Drop is equal to, you should write height, space, weight. And again, after the DS4, you should do within the parenthesis, we should write a drop is equal to, we should write height and weight. So when you have the same requirement and when we are creating multiple data sets, writing a drop statement is a better idea, good idea than writing a drop option. But when you're creating 2 data sets, if you have a different requirement, obviously what you should do, you have to write the drop option. Say for example, I do not want to have a height variable in the demo 1. I do not want to have weight variable in the demo 2. So since we have a different requirement, you cannot write a statement now. What you can do, we can write only option. So drop is equal to, yes, I do not want to have a height variable here. And in the demo 2, I do not want to have weight variable. So drop is equal to weight. Now close the parenthesis. Now select the program, execute the program. And this is how we are going to have. Understand this one? Now again, I want to print the SAS subject class. While I'm printing, I do not want to have an age variable. I do not want to have age variable. So now I'm writing proc print. Data is equal to SAS help dot class. So I do not want to have a weight variable. So now I'm writing, I do not want to have age variable. I'm writing a drop age. What I'm writing here is a statement or option. Now I'm trying to write a statement. I'm executing the program. So will the program will be get executed? No. Now anyway, I do not want to have age variable. So I'm trying to write option. So I'm writing proc print. Data is equal to SAS help dot class. Open the parenthesis. Within the parenthesis, drop is equal to, say for example, age semicolon run. Now see, if I execute this program, you will not get the age variable, you will get the remaining 4 variables. Now, what are the differences that you can tell between the drop statement and drop? By the way, both will do the same work, but a drop statement works in the same way for all the data sets that are created under one data step. But drop option works for
Individual.
data sets. And you can write
Full
it
data.
drop statement anywhere in the SAS program. And drop option, you should write a separate statement, separate option for each data set. Okay, and then drop statement works only in data step, but drop option works both in data step and proc step. By the way, which one is better? Which one is more efficient? Statement is more efficient because it works before PDB, and drop option is less efficient because it works after PDB. Understand this one? Is this clear? Okay then. Now, this time, what I want to do, I want to create again class 1 dataset from SAS help.class. Now I'm writing data class 1, set SAS help.class. While I'm creating this new dataset, in the class 1, I do not want to have a sex variable. Instead of sex, I want to rename that as a gender. I want to rename sex as a gender. I want to rename it permanently. How we can do that one? What is our current knowledge? Data, the name,
Rename option. Class.
when the says rename is equal to, again open
Open
parenthesis,
gender.
sex old name is equal to
Sex is equal
new name.
gender.
Now close the parenthesis 2 times. Now select the program, execute the program. Now in the class 1, sex has been renamed as a gender. So this is how we can rename a variable name permanently. So dataset name, open the parenthesis, rename is equal to, again open the parenthesis, old name is equal to new name, and close the parenthesis 2 times. Now, today I want to do the same thing in a different way. Data, I am writing class 2, set, I am creating this one from the SAS help.class, then I am writing. Instead of writing a rename statement, rename option, now I'm writing the rename statement. How to write the rename statement? Now you should write rename, then old name is equal to new name. Very simple, very straightforward. Old name is equal to new name. Now sex is equal to gender. Rename option is very complicated. You should open the parenthesis. Rename is equal to, again open the parenthesis. Old name is equal to new name. Close the parenthesis 2 times. But here, there's no such confusion. Simply rename, old name is equal to new name. That's it. Now write the run statement. Now select the program and execute the program. Yes, we have a class 2 data set. In the class 2 data set, now can you see the sex has been renamed as a gender. Understand this one? So this is a rename option and this is a rename statement. Now I want to create 2 data sets, DS1, DS2, set SAS help.class. Okay, in both the data sets, I want to rename weight as a student underscore weight. నాకు 2 డేటా సెట్లను కూడా weight student underscore weight కింద rename అయిపోవాలి. Which one is better, option or statement? Now the statement. Now I'm writing rename old name, which is in a weight, is equal to, what is the new name I want to have? Student underscore weight. Now in both the data sets, the weight will be get renamed as a student underscore weight, like this one. And DS2 also student underscore weight. But tell me, if you try to use option, how we should do it? If you want to use option, you should write DS3, DS4, set data set name, the existing original data set name SAS help.class. Again, after the DS3, now we should do, you should write rename is equal to, again, parenthesis, is equal to, you should write student underscore weight, close the parenthesis 2 times, Again, after the DS4, again within the parenthesis, you should write rename is equal to, now within the parenthesis, what we should write? Weight is equal to student underscore weight. This is how we should write it. Lengthy process, time taking process. So in this scenario, which one is better?
Statement.
But when you're creating a two data sets, DS3, DS4, but if in the DS3, I want to have change height as an HT. In the DS4, I want to change weight as a WT. What can I do? Can I go with the statement?
Option. No, sir. Option, sir. Rename option.
And the statement is going to work in the same way, but I do not want to have in the same way. So obviously, we have to go with option. Rename is equal to, open the parenthesis. Say, for example, height is equal to HT. Close the parenthesis 2 times. Again, DS4. Now, within the DS4, what we should write? Again, we should write rename is equal to, now within the parenthesis, say, for example, weight is equal to WT. Understand this one? Now, if I execute this program, DS3 is going to have instead of height, we are going to have HD. In DS4, instead of weight, we have a WT. Understand this one? Now tell me, what are the differences that we have between rename statement, and rename option? Anybody? Again, the same. First of all, why we use a rename statement or rename option? To rename a variable name permanently. To rename a variable name permanently, we can use either rename option or a rename statement. Then what is the difference? Rename statement works in the same way for all the data sets that are created under one data step. But rename option works for individual data sets. Okay. And you can write a rename statement anywhere in the program, but where we should write the rename option? After the data set name, parenthesis. Okay. And we can write rename statement only in data step. But rename option works both in data step and proc step. Say, for example, see, I want to print the SAS help dot class. Now I'm writing the proc print data is equal to SAS help dot class. While I'm printing, I want to print a name as a student underscore name. I'm trying to use a rename statement. Rename old name is equal to how I want to have student underscore name. Can you see when I'm writing the rename itself, it is not taking, it is in red in color. See, if I execute this program, I won't get print. But anyway, I want to print SAS class. Now I'm trying to use option. Data is equal to SAS help dot class. Now, by the way, how to use option? Open the parenthesis. Is equal to, you can open the parenthesis. Old name is equal to new name. Yes, I want to have student underscore name. Close the parenthesis 2 times. Then I'm getting the run statement. Now say, if I execute this program, yes, we'll get the print. Now can you see how we renamed the name?
Student name.
So rename statement works only in the data step, but a rename option works both in data step and proc step. Understand this one? And which one is more efficient? Rename statement. Because
Rename statement.
it works before PDV. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
This is about keep, drop, and rename. So we have seen keep, drop, rename. And the next statement that we are going to discuss is where. Where statement. Keep, drop, rename works with variables. Keep చేస్తామండి. We keep variables. What if we drop? Drop means we drop the variables. What do you mean by rename? We rename the variable names. So keep, drop, rename works with the variables. But now I want to filter the observations. I want to work with observations. If you want to work with observations, what is the option or a statement we write? We write the where statement.
Wow.
Very good. Now what I'm going to do, I want to create a data set called class 1. Okay. While I'm creating the data class 1, in the class 1, I do not want to have all the students. I want to have only female students. According to your current knowledge, how we are going to filter it? Data set name, the parenthesis, where is equal to, again open parenthesis, sex is equal to, I want capital N.
Between quotations.
And close the parenthesis 2 times. I told you, if it is a character data, we should write within the quotations. And if it is a character data, the data is case sensitive, we should write exactly in the same way how we have in the SAS help.class. Now I'm selecting this program, executing this program. Now, can you see we have a class 1 data set? Now, can you see out of 19 observations in the class 1, we have only 9 observations. All the 9 students are females. So if you want to work with observations, what is that statement or option that we use? Where.
Where of
Wow.
Now in today's class, this is where option. By the way, I want to use where statement. Now I'm writing like this one. Data, I want to create a class 2. Set, I'm creating from the SAS help.class. Now instead of writing a option, I'm writing the statement. How to write the statement? Statement is very simple. Now we should write where condition. What is the condition? Sex is equal to, say for example, M. Now, any program execute చేశాను కొన్ని క్లాసులు ఎవరు ఉంటారు తెలుసా? Who are going to be the,
males?
no, I'm going to have all the male students. So this is called
Where of
where option.
statement and
This is
where
called
of
where statement. And by the way, why we use either where statement or where option? We use and where statement selects observations based on condition. If you want to select the observations based on the condition, we are going to use where statement. And how we write the where statement? Where condition, whatever the condition you want, you can write it. Understand this one? Now I want to create a class 3. I am writing data class 3. In the class 3, I want to have only age 12 students. Now only age 12 students కావాలండి. Now how I'm going to write? Where? What is the condition? Age is equal to
12.
12. So 12 is a numerical data we can write openly. So now select the program, execute the program. Now we are going to have, class 3 data set. Now can you see in the class 3 data set, we have only age 12 students. We have 5 students in the SAS data class with age 12 and we got all the 5 students. Understand this one?
Yes, sir.
Only students with age less than 13, below 13. How will let the program? Data class 4
Class 4.
set
That's
class where age less than 13 because I want to have below 13. Below 13 and ఎక్కడి నుంచి కావాలండి 12 or less than 12, right? Now if I execute this program, now in the class 4 I'm going to have below 13, which means I'm going to have 11 and 12. Now I want to have 14 or above 14. How will let the program?
greater than 14.
Again, I want to have 14 and above 14.
Greater than
14 is greater than or equal to 14. Understand this one? Now we are going to have a class 5. Now this is how we are going to have. Now I'm going to have 14 or above 14. Understand this one?
What if we need age 14 and only females or male?
What do you want to have? Come again. You want
Age
to have
is
age
equals to 14 with age female. Sorry, sex female.
gender female. So you have two requirements. So the gender should be female and age should be 14, right? So now you have two conditions. Now data, yes, I want to create a class 6 data set. Set, I'm writing SAS help.class. Now I'm writing where X is equal to capital F, age is equal to 14, right?
14.
Now, when you're writing a two condition, please remember one thing. Both the conditions should be joined. We should use a keyword called and, because your requirement should be females and at the same time age 14. So that means both the conditions should be get satisfied. Now gender should be female and at the same time age should be 14. If you want to satisfy both the conditions at the same time, we use a keyword called and between the two conditions. So sex is equal to F and age is equal to 14. Okay, say for example, see, if I create the class file like this one, this is the class for right? If I write and operator between two conditions, in the same observation, both the conditions should be satisfied. అంటే సెక్స్ లోను ఫిమేల్ ఉండాలి అండ్ అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం ఏజ్ ఎంత ఉండాలండి 14. Both the condition. Is both the conditions satisfied here? No. Okay, age is 14, but what is the sex?
Male.
Yeah. So it won't be get selected. Now, female, okay, sex is female, that's fine. But can you see what is the age that we have? 13. It won't be get selected.
Your voice is not clear, teacher. Sir?
Chandu Reddy, can you keep your mic on mute, please? Now, you know, in this scenario, we have gender female and age 14. Both the conditions are satisfied in the same observation. Now, this observation will be get selected. Now, do we have anywhere such scenario? And here we have again gender female, age 14. This one gets selected. Out of 19 observations, only 2 observations are satisfying both the conditions in one observation. So that is this observation, 4th observation, and again 12th observation. Now, if I execute this program, now in the class 6, I'm going to have only 2 observations. Can you see? The gender is female and at the same time age is 14. Clear this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is how we are going to do where statement. We'll continue where statement in the next class. Okay.